Don't even. What's good, YouTube? We finna react to Central C and Digga D, I guess. I don't even know who the Digga D dude is though. But Central C rough. He rough. But I ain't know they had a little war going on or whatever. No rap beef. Nah, I'm playing. But I know Central C used to sell drugs and stuff, whatever in his music. Yeah, but I don't know who Digga D is. I ain't know Central C got like that though. But hey, let's hop into
Central
it.
C broke out of the UK drill scene to become an international star. But
Right.
most fans have no idea about his time in the streets or his violent beef with Digga D, another drill rapper who grew up 5 minutes away from him. From machete fights to prison stabbings, this is the shocking story behind their
But no guns. No guns. I ain't gonna lie, I've never heard of a gun. Even, never mind.
deadly beef. Central C and Digga D are both from London.
Like, how many shootings be in the UK or wherever he from? Yeah, UK. Like, I don't hear people dying in
West End, in an
shootings.
area called Ladbroke. Digga D spent his entire early life there, but Central C's family ended up moving 5 minutes away to a neighborhood called Shepherd's Bush. Shepherd's Bush and Ladbroke are two of the most violent areas in the West End. Ladbroke actually has a lot of wealthy people and nice homes though. It's a wild place because on one side of the street, you have families who can't afford food or keep the lights on, and right across from them, you'll see little kids with parents who buy them Rolexes. Back in the day,
Like, bro, imagine you walking outside, you just start getting shanked, bro. Like, come on, fool.
both areas were under the umbrella of one gang called 916. It's not clear what went down behind the scenes, but at some point they had an internal beef and ended up splitting the hoods apart. The crew from Ladbroke became known as 1011, and the dudes in Shepherd's Bush started two new gangs called 12 World and 12 Anti. Even though they're technically two different sets, 12 World and 12 Anti are clicked up heavy and share the same ops. Central C and Digga D also went to the same school for a while, but they was a couple of years apart, and Digga ended up getting kicked out pretty early after he got caught with weed. C was always surrounded by street activity, but he actually tried working a legit job before hopping off the porch. C started working at a shoe store, but it ain't take long for him to realize that the real money was in the trenches. After just 3 weeks, he knew that working retail wasn't going to support the kind of lifestyle he wanted, so he bounced and started moving weight instead. Around the same time, C was already trying to make it in the music industry. He came up listening to reggae, dancehall, and American rap that his dad would play when he visited, and C started combining it all to try and find his own sound. Digga D got an early start with rap too. His parents introduced him to a lot of Jamaican reggae, and Digga started writing his own music
What is Jamaican reggae? I've never heard of that.
at around 12 years old. He didn't have a stable childhood at all though, and spent a lot of time at a place called the Harrow Club.
How you
The
get
Harrow Club was
expelled for
the same
having weed at
disadvantaged kids that's been
school?
around since 1883.
I done seen that nigga smoke in a thing, get caught, and be back the next day. He just got caught with weed on him. Nigga must have hide.
Digga says it was
Hella
crazy
weed
important to
on
him
him or
back in the
something.
day. When it was too cold to be outside, he didn't have anywhere to go. Digga and his homies would play football inside and started hanging out in the building's old recording studio. That's where he started laying down his first tracks. Around the same time, Digga suffered a tragic loss. When he was 11 years old, the grandma
His
Digga
parents,
lived with at the
damn.
time suddenly passed away. He paid tribute to her on the track Intro and rapped, "Mom's life, I was 11 or 12, with half an M and some digital scales. Moved in with my nan, used to sneak in girls. 177 South Tram Crescent, my nan got cancer. I was 11. She passed away, no she went to
Damn,
heaven.
cancer
She's
crazy.
on my mind, that's all through lessons." He dropped his first single just a couple years later, but it would take a while before he had any real success in the industry. Digga still had both feet in the trenches while he was working on his craft. Him and his 1011 homies was putting pressure on the ops in the streets and in the booth. One of their op sets is a crew called End Gang, and in 2017, one of their affiliates was brutally stabbed to death in the middle of the day. Abdullahi Tarabi, aka T-Wiz, was caught by two ops and stabbed twice. He ran away screaming for help while a bunch of horrified families watched it happen. Then he tragically collapsed around 100 yards away and died at the scene. Around 2016 and 2017, Digga and the rest of 1011 started dropping some of the most savage drill tracks in UK history. And on the song Kill Confirmed, Digga dissed T-Wiz and his brother and rapped, "If you run too slow, then you're pissed. We ain't touched no one from the end, everyone knows that's fibs. Young T-Wiz got a chest shot, he just never died like his bro T-Wiz." Digga was popping off like crazy and helped put UK drill on the map. But instead of going all in with the music, he was still active in the streets. And at the end of 2017, he got locked up with a bunch of other 1011 affiliates for allegedly planning an attack on 12 World. 1011 had beef with a few different sets on the west end, but they was always taking shots at dudes from Shepherd's Bush. The 1011 track Next Up went viral like crazy and racked up over 1 million streams in under a couple of weeks. And on the track, Digga's
Couple of weeks is crazy.
homie Savo raps,
A couple of weeks.
"How many times have I rid on Bush? Like one of them boys gotta go. Back out my ting and make man swim. Like ching man down on votes. Catch me a op and stab up his head, then 10 toes back to the Grove." The cops found Digga and his homies on their way to 12 World territory carrying baseball bats and machetes and booked them on conspiracy to commit violent disorder. They all tried to claim they were just shooting a music video, but the cops didn't buy it and Digga got hit with a 1-year sentence. Getting locked up right when the music was gaining traction was bad, but the situation had way more consequences than anyone expected. While he was in court, the cops started taking a closer look at Digga's music videos and lyrics and realized 1011 was talking about real life situations in their tracks. They thought the music might lead to more violence in the streets, so they hit Digga with a criminal behavior order and required him to get permission from the police to release new music, banned him from talking about specific areas of London, and banned him from referencing any real crimes or the people involved with them. Plus, 4 of 1011's music videos were taken off of YouTube by the police. They had already run up huge numbers and were building a worldwide audience through their music videos, but the cops put a massive hurdle in front of them when they took the videos down. If Digga put out any music that the cops thought broke the CBO, they could take him right back to prison and there was nothing he could do about it. Anti-censorship groups came out to fight for Digga's freedom from the CBO, but none of it worked and he had to learn how to make drill music under the crazy rules they put on him. While Digga in 1011 was paving a new lane in UK drill, Central C was working on his own craft. He hopped on the track Ain't Nothing remix with Jay Hugh back in 2015, which led to him getting a feature with Dave. Dave is one of the hottest UK rappers in the world right now, but back then he was still underground, so Central C didn't get a lot of shine from working with him. Back then, Central C was rapping with autotune and making pretty generic trap songs. He dropped his first single in 2016 and followed it up with 2 projects in 2017. None of it made much of an impact in the UK drill scene. While he was trying to get the music
How you rap
poppin',
for that
C was still in
long,
the streets though. And in 2018, the beef between him and Digga D almost took a deadly turn. In 2018, Digga came back home after serving time for allegedly planning the attack on 12 World. He wasn't going to just keep his head down and focus on the music though. And in November, he allegedly caught Central C and his brother on the street. On November 30th, 2018, Central C was with his little brother and some of their homies on the block when Digga D and one of his people pulled up on them and started some kind of argument. It's not clear what the situation was really about, but it got so heated that Digga allegedly pulled out a blade and stabbed Central C's brother. Digga and the other dude were both arrested and went back to prison for violating his criminal behavior order. The charges
Bro, you gotta be the dumbest dude on this earth, bro.
ended up getting dropped, but Digga still had to deal with some life-changing consequences over it. While he was back on the inside, someone attacked Digga with a blade.
So you telling me he's still on probation, bro? I thought he got released. He said violating his
They made out of a tuna
his
can and
stuff.
stabbed him in the eye. Digga lost vision in the eye, and his lawyer said he was dealing with PTSD over the situation. He still wasn't allowed to speak on any real-life violence in his music, but last year, Digga allegedly admitted to stabbing Central C's brother on a leaked track where he raps, "Who the fuck is Central C? The only wilds in West is me. We chefed his brother, went to jail, but still took the not guilty plea." And on another leak, he said, "Don't compare me to Central C. He just stood there and watched when we chinged his brother. I went to jail for that little fucker. I still came home to the nicest supper." Central C clapped back on the track Cold Shoulder and rapped, "Last time I let that slide, but this time I ain't gonna let that run. They made a diss track, that shit was too whack to get a response. It's sad, cat, I love my hood where I'm from, but that place ain't where I belong." Then he took it a step further on the track Ended Up Beginning and said, "See the way I chop it? Would've thought I had a black belt."
Hold on, Central C phone. Them tats look dirty, bro.
"See the way I chop it? Would've thought I had a black belt." On the track Cold Shoulder and rapped, "Last time I let that slide, but this time I ain't gonna let that run. They made a diss track, that shit was too whack to get a response. It's sad, cat, I love my hood where I'm from, but that place ain't where I belong." Then he took it a step
Alright,
further
that's
on the
HD,
track
bro. I'm
Ended
sitting
Up
there looking at a
Beginning and
nigga
said,
body and
"See the way I
that's
chop
weird
it?
out.
Would've thought I had a black belt. I don't even
That
need
shit is
practice.
dirty, though.
I'm a natural. I want to hit Tennessee and don't mean Nashville." The line was about a model that Digga D used to date named Tennessee Thresher. Obviously the diss ain't having too press though, cause Digga just tweeted, "Rapping about 10, that's your way of payback? Damn, little bro." Digga D and Central C were already ops cause of the crews they rep, but there's another reason Digga has issues with him. Since at least 2018, Digga has been sending shots back and forth with another rapper named Fredo. It's not clear where it all started, but one time Fredo went on Instagram Live and said that he's not making music with anyone from Ladbroke Grove.
Not making songs for Ladbroke Grove, but they're not Grove either.
Later, Digga was on Live when someone started playing a track from Fredo and Dave. Digga made it clear that he wasn't rocking with either one of them and said to turn it off.
See what I'm saying?
But man, turn this shit off, man.
Then after the news broke that Digga got stabbed in jail, a UK rap page put up a post wishing him well, and Fredo sent a sneak diss by commenting an ambulance emoji. Central C linking up with Fredo and Dave could be one reason that Digga has so much beef with him, but some fans think it all comes from jealousy. Central C has been in the game almost as long as Digga, but it took him a lot longer to pop off. By 2020, Digga already had millions of streams and a big name in the industry, but Central C was still pretty much underground. He even thought about giving up on rap and going a different way, but then he switched up his style and everything changed. In 2020, Central C dropped the auto-tune trap style and went all in with drill on the track Day in the Life. It was clear from the jump that he made the right move changing styles. The track popped off and ran up over 70 million views on YouTube.
Damn.
Overnight, Central C was becoming the face of the
But that's all it takes, bro. Just one video, bro. One video is crazy.
UK drill scene.
Click that chat.
C wasn't just blowing up in the rap game though. One thing that really pushed him to the next level was when he linked up with a streetwear company called Trapstar. Trapstar is kind of like Supreme but based out of London, and the hype around the brand is crazy. While C was promoting his debut mixtape, Wild West, they designed the official merch and put an even bigger spotlight on him. Wild West came out at number 2 on the UK albums chart and shot C straight into the mainstream. Drake co-signed him and even gave C his first modeling job for his Nike clothing line.
Drake?
C kept it pushing
No,
and dropped more hits like Obsessed With You and Retail Therapy, then leveled up again with the track Doja. He linked up with Cole Bennett for the music
Somebody
video
tell
and
Doja
hit over
Cat
half a
that
billion
I'm trying to
streams on
indulge in
Spotify.
that.
And by the end of 2022, he had become the first UK rapper to run up over 1 billion streams in 1 year. 2023 has been even crazier for him. He linked up with Dave again for the track Sprinter, and this time they were both already at the top
Putting
of
out
the
good in
game.
the Sprinter.
Sprinter was a single for their collab tape Split Decision, and the track ended up breaking the record for the longest running #1 rap song in UK history. Then Double XL added C to the 2023 freshman class, and Drake linked up with him for his On The Radar freestyle too. Central C didn't just take over UK drill, he's becoming an international star with fans all over the world. Digga
No
D
cap.
definitely helped pave the way for him to come through.
I don't even know
but
who
he's had
bro
a tough
is.
time staying out of trouble. 2020 was when Central C got his name buzzing. In that same year, Digga D pleaded guilty to a charge of violent disorder and got hit with a 2-year and 6-month sentence. The charge came after he was involved with the wild machete fight in front of a bunch of civilians outside of a shopping center. His homie Salvo went down for the situation too and took a 3-year sentence.
Damn.
Digga got off easy and was back home by 2021. He
All
still
right.
had a lot of buzz on his name thanks to tracks like No Diet, which hit over 30 million views on YouTube, plus a bunch of viral freestyles. But it wasn't long before he was right back in handcuffs. In
This
July
nigga dumb,
2021,
bro.
he was arrested after going to a Black Lives Matter protest and posting about it on Instagram. They booked him for inciting violence just for holding up a sign at the protest, and fans jumped in immediately to call the police out for trying to censor him. Luckily, he was released, but just a few months later,
He got
rumors
locked
started
up
flying
again.
that Digga had been arrested in Dubai for stabbing someone. Nobody knows
Stabbing somebody in Dubai?
what
Yeah,
really went
bro.
down over there, but Digga hopped on social media to squash the rumors. He said that he had been arrested and questioned, but that he didn't hurt anyone. What's crazy about the situation is that all of the legal drama hasn't even slowed Digga down. Last year, he dropped his 3rd mixtape and debuted at #1 on the UK albums chart. And in September 2022, he launched his own label, Black Money Records. Digga is definitely more known for crashing out and getting arrested, but it seems like he's really trying to turn it all around and help keep other kids from falling into the street life. In an interview with The Guardian, he talks about how he understands the influence he has on kids from London and needs to think more before he speaks. He's also getting active in his old community and went back to the Hero Club to hand out clothes and food to kids who need it. He just dropped his newest project a couple of weeks ago, and on the track,
Bro, so they beefing about nothing, bro. I don't even want to watch this junk no more, bro. They sitting here beefing about nothing, bro.
fighting for
Bro, get on my face, bro. The whole video with them beefing about nothing, bro. Ain't nobody family. Well, Central C brother got stabbed by this nigga, but it was no point in him even stabbing him, bro. Y'all sitting here playing with y'all lives for no reason, bro. I'm out of here, bro.